It's New Zealand's premier motor racing series. For 5 weekends, drivers will battle it out over 15 races in the Toyota Racing Series. A compact format gives drivers from all around the world the opportunity to experience intense racing in the European off-season. For some, it's their first experience of international single-seater racing. For others, it gives the opportunity to hone their skills before the international racing season begins. At stake, 5 feature race trophies, including the prestigious New Zealand Grand Prix and the overall championship title, the Chris Amon Trophy. 18 drivers from 14 countries. This is the 2013 Toyota Racing Series. Round 1 is hosted by Southland Sports Car Club in Invercargill, the capital of Southland Province and New Zealand's most southerly city. Invercargill is the centre for a large farming and commercial community and is just 20 minutes drive from the town of Bluff, which marks the south end of mainland New Zealand. The southern pole is just 4,800 kilometres away, and at times the city is exposed to southerly gales, but summer temperatures can soar past 30 degrees Celsius. Teretonga racetrack is situated on Sandy Point and has been here in various forms since 1957. It's the most southern FIA-graded track in the world. In the golden age of New Zealand motor racing in the 1960s and 70s, Teretonga has hosted many of the world's great drivers. The track has also hosted the prestigious New Zealand Grand Prix in the past, and once again this year it hosts the opening round of the Toyota Racing Series. There are 3 New Zealand and 15 international drivers this year, all welcome to the series on Friday evening with a traditional Maori welcome. Auckland driver and current champion Nick Cassidy accepted the challenge on behalf of the drivers and crews, who then went on to enjoy participating in some entertainment from the local community. The Toyota Racing Series has 4 professional teams running 18 drivers. The smallest is Victory Motor Racing from Nelson, New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Gary Orton. With me is Guy Griffith. We're from Nelson and we own Victory Motor Racing.
Driving for Victory are rookie Michael Scott from Tapuki, New Zealand, and Invercargill's very own Damon Leach. E-Tech Motorsport is based in Australia, and this season they'll run 5 drivers.
Hi, I'm Trevor Schumack, owner of E-Tech Motorsport. I'm based in Melbourne, but I just love coming to New Zealand.
Driving for E-Tech is Titania Calderon from Colombia, Andrew Tang from Singapore, Sony PlayStation 3 GT Academy driver Jan Mardenborough from Great Britain, Akash Nandi from Malaysia, and returning for a second season, Thailand's Tanat Satyan Tirakul. M2 Motorsport has its base in New Zealand, but co-owner Jonathan Morey is from Belgium.
Hi, I'm John Morey. And I'm Mark Pilcher, and we are M2 Competition.
Driving for M2 Motorsport this season from Norway, Dennis Olsen. From Great Britain, Alex Lynn. Stijn Shorhorst from the Netherlands. Ryan Cullen from Ireland. Defending series champion Nick Cassidy from Auckland, New Zealand. And from Australia, Spike Goddard. Giles Motorsport is New Zealand's most successful single-seater race team. Owner Stephen Giles formed the team after years of working in Formula One.
Hi, I'm Stephen Giles from Auckland, New Zealand, and I'm the team owner of Giles Motorsport.
Returning to Giles Motorsport for a second season is Felix Sorellas from Puerto Rico and Bruno Bonifacio from Brazil. Joining for the first time from Brazil, Pipo Derani. Lucas Au returns from Austria, and making his series debut from Canada, Nicholas Latifi. Let's take a look now at this challenging Teretonga circuit. It's 2.62 kilometres long and is dominated by a long 800-metre front straight, which leads to a fast double apex left-hand loop. Mastering this turn is the key to a good lap time, but get it wrong and the track will spit you out. The track's corners flow from one to the other through to turn 5, which slows the cars and sees the brave making overtaking manoeuvres through the brickyard and onto turn 7. This tight left-hander is often the scene of some pushing and shoving as drivers make ambitious attempts to outbrake each other. Finally, it's back to the main straight and the start-finish. 2 qualifying sessions on Saturday morning would decide the grid for race 1 and 3. Race 2 grid is the finish order of race 1, with the top 4, 6 or 8 drivers running reverse order, depending on a marble draw. The weather was fine for Q1, but with a strong wind blowing. Time started to tumble after 5 laps, and on his 8th lap, Lucas Auer posted what would be the fastest lap, 54.639. A lap after, Alex Lynn of Great Britain posted 54.748, and the champion Nick Cassidy pitted to make some changes and went out to record a 54.817. That put him third. Sorellis and Bonifacio were 4th and 5th, just 0.2 seconds behind, while Nicholas Latifi was top rookie in 6th place.
In the first qualifying it was dry. We had a good speed, everybody knew that. And we could take the pole position.
Qualifying 2 saw a change in the weather, with a light rain shower sending teams diving back into the pits to change onto wet tyres. Local driver Damon Leach used his knowledge of the track and was the early pole sitter with a 102.667. But Alex Lynn took on the challenge and went 0.3 seconds faster. The rain wasn't easing, but conditions remained the same. 2 laps later, and Felix Sorellis put in a fantastic run, 1 minute 2.056 to take the pole. Defending champion Nick Cassidy made a few changes to the car, but the team went the wrong way, and he was punished with a 16th fastest time.
Overall, it's been a pretty good qualifying. I'm quite happy with both results, but obviously for the main event, I think I'm P1. So I have to say thank you for the team, Giles Motorsports, and my engineer and mechanics, because they've done a fantastic job.
Coming up after the break, we meet the 3 Kiwi drivers in the Toyota Racing Series. Then it's all the action from race 1. Three New Zealand drivers will compete for the Toyota Racing Series title in 2013. Leading contender is defending champion Nick Cassidy.
Hi, I'm Nick Cassidy. I'm from Auckland, New Zealand, and I'm the defending Toyota Racing Series champion. Since 2012, I've competed in a couple of Formula Renault Euro Cup races, and also Vet Super Tour race in Taupo, and a GB3 test at the end of the year. This year I'm with M2 competition, new mechanics, new engineer, new challenge. Should be okay, but it's a lot different, and there's going to be a lot of learning to do. I think the car looks pretty cool, number 1.
For 18-year-old Michael Scott, this is his first experience with Wings and Slicks race cars.
My name is Michael Scott, I'm 18, I'm from Te Puke, New Zealand, and I'm racing the number 53 Toyota. Well, before the Toyota Racing Series, like many, I started in go-karting, and from there I sort of stepped up into Formula First and did a couple of seasons of that, and also last season I did Formula Ford and a little bit of Formula Ford in Australia. Probably the hardest thing coming into this series is having very little experience in a Wings and Slick car. Up until now in the Formula Ford it's a lot slower and you don't have the aeros and the same grip, so trying to get your head around that and tell your mind you're going to go so much quicker around the corner takes a little bit of doing, but we're getting there. Having the teammate Damon is a great advantage. He's got a lot of experience. That's been his 3rd season, so it's a huge advantage for me to learn off him and hopefully get an advantage from that.
Damon Leach lives right here in Invercargill, and in 2012 the 20-year-old led the series after round 1, and the crowd will be once again right behind him.
I think a lot of people are expecting big things, so we'll do our best this weekend and see how it goes. But it's definitely kind of hard for me, working 11 months of the year as an apprentice mechanic, and then 1 month of it coming out and racing against everyone that does this for a living. So yeah, it makes things a bit hard.
So here's the grid for race 1 of the 2013 Toyota Racing Series. On row 1, it's the fastest man from testing from Austria, Lucas Auer in the number 11, and then alongside him from Great Britain, Alex Lynn. On row 2, defending champion Nick Cassidy ahead of Felix Sorellis. Brazil's Bruno Bonifacio will line up in 5th alongside series rookie Nicholas Latifi. On row 4, it's Pipo Derani making his first start alongside Stijn Shorhorst of the Netherlands. Tanata Thailand is ahead of Jan Mardenborough on the 5th row. Damon Leach with work to do on row 6. And alongside him, Titania Calderon of Colombia. On row 7, it's Australia's Spike Goddard, who lines up in 13th beside Singapore's Andrew Tang. Dennis Olsen and Michael Scott are on row 8, and rounding out the grid, Akash Nandi and Ryan Cullen of Ireland. Lining up pole then, number 11, Lucas Hour, fastest in testing and in qualifying. Alongside him, Alex Lynn of Great Britain. Then comes the champion, Cassidy. Right there is his view as he will try to get alongside as they head towards the loop. And away they go for the start of the 2013 season. Good start from Lucas Hour, but it's close. And Cassidy already nudging for position. Alex Lynn on the outside trying to get into second place, but Cassidy will try to nudge him out and does so. Great move by the champion. Nick Cassidy will not be denied. He's come to defend his title, and that was a brave manoeuvre through the loop there in 5th gear by Nick Cassidy to grab second place behind Lucas Hour, who leads the way. Lucas Hour, the Austrian, who had a good season here but didn't win a race, had some podiums, now has come back determined to do just that and win here right from the get-go. Beautiful conditions here at Teretonga as they head through the back part of this circuit, through the S's, the long flowing circuit that is Teretonga, and the conditions couldn't be better as they head towards the brickyard and to the final turn, the elbow for the first time, and it's Lucas Hour who leads the way, pulling away slightly from Nick Cassidy, who did a brilliant job of taking second place away from Alex Lynn as we go on board with the young Brit, who's a real hot shoe at the moment. Got pole position at Macau and got a podium there in November and has come here determined to take the victory overall in the series. Raced here in 2011, in fact, and then went back and raced in Europe, but that's what it's all about here, racing in New Zealand, honing the skills for the international European season. And right now, Lucas Hour is pulling away at the front, on board with the leader, number 11 from Austria, nephew, of course, of the great Gerhard Berger. Is he a chip off the old block? A lot of people think so. Onto the main straight again. And the field's starting to spread out. Good clean start for the first race of the year. 215 brake horsepower as they flash past their boards. In 4th place, there's the number 4 car, Felix Serenas of Puerto Rico from Formula 3 of Great Britain, of course. 3rd overall in 2012 with 6 wins, and returning to TRS, had 1 win last year in the Toyota Racing Series, and he too determined to have a crack at trying to win this championship. Just behind him is Nicholas Latifi, the rookie from Giles Motorsport, his first time out for the Canadian, but looking very strong early on and right on the pace with those who we expected to be at the front early on. Long way to go though yet. 5 weekends, 15 races, and this is the first, and already Lucas Hour setting a scintillating pace as he crosses the line again. On board now with the local man from Invercargill, Damon Leach, 3rd overall last year, has been warming up, doing some karting, came 2nd in the South Island karting series. It's done him no harm whatsoever as we take a look at Nicholas Latifi for the first time, who's also under pressure from the number 6, Pipo Durrani, one of the other rookies coming into the series with Giles Motorsport. And Durrani definitely quick, the young Brazilian, and he was advised to come here, and it's exactly what he's done. Really looking forward to racing here in New Zealand, but of course it's all new to them. Coming here for the first time, there's a lot to learn. The car, the engineers, and of course, the tracks. The elbow, the last corner, turn 7. Caught out a few in the past, but everybody cleanly through again as we go on board with Alex Lynn in the 3rd position at the moment. And that's the distance between himself and the champion, Nick Cassidy. Cassidy coming back from a disappointing season, really, in Europe, where he did Formula Renault and, of course, left these Isles as the champion, and very much returning here to regain that momentum under the tutelage of the great Peter Collins. Our first look at the Dutchman, that's Stijn Shorhorst for the number 21 M2 competition in the midfield. On board with 17, that's Ryan Cullen. Oh, Cullen, the Irishman, spins it round on the grass. No luck for the Irish today, and it's slippy on that grass, having had some wet weather throughout the practice session, so the grass still very slippy indeed, and he needs to be careful getting on track here. So the first major incident of the season involves the rookie Irishman Ryan Cullen of M2 competition, but he's back and running. Meanwhile, talking of running, Lucas Hour is running away with it at the moment. There's the gap between himself and Nick Cassidy in 2nd place. If anything, Alex Lynn is honing in now as we go on board with him as he passes his board on 2nd place. So in the closing stages, expect Alex Lynn to try and make a challenge as they head towards the loop. Really tough corner this, flat out in 5th gear. Look at him fighting the steering wheel to hold the grip and make sure he holds the line. He takes a very, very tight inside line, then heads towards the S's. Meanwhile, Lucas Auer is putting fastest lap in after fastest lap as we go on board with him as he approaches the elbow once again. Good season last year in Formula 3 in Germany with a couple of wins there. Of course, had a scintillating 2011 where he won everything in the JK Racing Series in Asia. Didn't really shine as much as he wanted to here in the TRS last year, but he's come back determined, and this is just exactly how he wanted to set out his stall here for 2013. Fastest in testing, fastest in qualifying, and here in race 1, fighting every inch of the way. He's doing an excellent job as we go back to the number 4. That's Felix Sorellas for Giles Motorsport. Sorellas, like Bonifacio behind him, returning to the championship. They knows the tracks, had 1 win last year and finished 8th overall. So he too in determined mood here at Teretonga. Good clean race so far, and Lucas Auer in a world of his own right now as he leads this field and is setting a faster and faster pace, which they just cannot hold with. 4th place, number 4, the Don Q Rum sponsored Puerto Rican, now living in Florida, has raced in the United States, in Europe, and now here in New Zealand. So bags of experience, but a real star-studded cast for the 9th season of the Toyota Racing Series. And a long, long way to go yet, but it's starting to already shape up nicely. In 5th place, there is Bruno Bonifacio of Brazil. Spent last year racing in Formula Abarth in the European Series. Got 3rd overall, a good season for him with 4 wins. And he too is another one coming to New Zealand with one intention only. A little bit of a moment there for the number 36, Alex Ling, as he came out of the last corner, but he straightens it all up. Takes a close look at his board and tries, if he can, to get on level terms with Cassidy, but that's proving hard here at the Teretonga circuit. Back with the leader, Auer, who is starting to lose a little bit of grip there, but that's how hard he's pushing. Here's Lucas Auer. He really is setting the pace here. He's not relaxing by any means, and in fact, he's increasing that lead as the laps go down. Coming down to the closing stages of this, back with Damon Leach, fighting for 10th place overall as we go back with the New Zealander. One of 3 New Zealanders in the field. Nick Cassidy, of course, the champion, Damon Leach, and Michael Scott, the rookie, coming in for the first time. But Leach is the local man from Invercargill. Got his local sponsors here as well, and they'll be cheering him on. Through goes 23, that's Jan Mardenborough of Great Britain. But here comes the leader, number 11, Lucas Auer. It's been an immaculate performance so far by the championship-winning Giles Motorsport team. They have an immaculate record here to Giles Motorsport, and Stephen Giles runs a tight ship, but Lucas Auer is ready for that and ready to bring home another championship for him. This is just the start he wanted, and barring any major mistakes, which isn't his style, this is the Lucas Auer we expected to see here in New Zealand. And he wants to ride on a wave of triumph back into Europe and back into the big boy scene. And he's already been earmarked for Formula 1, has this youngster from Austria. And it's been a while since we've had a real major Austrian, Alex Wurz, and of course his uncle before him, Gerhard Berger. Go back with Nick Cassidy, who I think will settle for 2nd place now. This is a good start by the champion, and he basically took that 2nd place right from the start of the race by going in front of Alex Lynn, who qualified on the front row, but he would not be denied with Cassidy, and he is an aggressive driver, and he doesn't mind stuffing it up the inside aggressively, but that's how you win races, and that's how you learn your racecraft. And Alex Lynn likewise will settle for 3rd place. It's a good start by all the contenders we expect for the overall championship. Back with Alex Lynn, who's had a remarkable season. Brilliant in Renault, brilliant in Formula 3, brilliant at Macau. First rookie in a long time to take the pole in a podium, since Kobayashi in fact. So he really is making a name for himself. And a lot of people back in Great Britain say this could be the next great star from Great Britain. And he's already proving he's pretty handy round the Teretonga circuit. And coming down to the closing stages, Lucas Auer does another brilliant lap of 54.282. That's a new lap record here at the Teretonga circuit, and that was a lap record that's been held for quite some time. But Lucas Auer has just smashed it in the closing stages of the first round of the 2013 Toyota Racing Series. And a good battle for points and to be top rookie between Pippo Durrani and Nicholas Latifi of Giles Motorsport. But I think that Pippo's going to hold him off as we come down to the closing stages. Well, Lucas Auer came here desperate to get a win, finally here in New Zealand. And cometh the man, cometh the hour, as Lucas Auer wins the first race of 2013. Congratulations to him as he takes the checkered flag. Fastest in testing, pole position and lap record, and the win. It just doesn't get better than that. Congratulations then. Here's a check on the results. Number 11 for Giles Motorsport, Lucas Auer takes the win. The champion, Nick Cassidy, is on the podium in second place. Then Alex Lynn of Great Britain in third. Sorellas, Bonifacio, Durrani holding off Latifi. Then Shawhurst, then Tanit. Leach is in 10th position at his home race. Jan Mardenberg is 11th. Calderon 12th. Goddard in 13th. Nandi, Olsen, Scott, Tang, and Ryan Cullen finishes 18th.
I got a very good start, and then sort of try to stay as close as I could to Lucas because Alex sort of had nowhere to go. So Alex backed off and I could follow Lucas through. And then throughout the race, I was getting better and better, and Lucas had made the gap in the start, and there's not much I could do.
I made a fairly good start, same as Lucas, and I was just on the outside. And Nick was right behind him, so there was no way I could get in, but you know, it's just the way it falls sometimes.
Car was good apart from that?
I think we've got a bit of work to do to catch Lucas for sure, because I think everybody's just a little bit slower than him at the moment, but I mean, I'll keep working till I get there, so no stress.
Yeah, it was very good. Big thanks to the team and to my engineer. I think we made a good job.
You must have been happy to complete the first lap safely this year.
Yeah, for sure, it's a nice feeling, but yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Coming up after the break, we have action from race 2, and we talk to Fortec Motorsport engineer Mick Kuros. Coming to the other side of the world for 5 weeks of intense racing could be a daunting task for a young racing driver. But when you have one of the best engineers in Formula 3 looking after you, the experience can only be beneficial. Mick Kuros is a senior race engineer at Fortec Motorsport, and he's here working with Giles Motorsport, keeping a watchful eye on Felix Sorellas, Pippo Durrani and Bruno Bonifacio.
The series works in this way that at this time of year it's the only place that we can go to help develop and work on the areas that the drivers need to improve on to become better drivers themselves. We do treat this as purely as a training camp. If they win races or win a championship, then that's an added bonus. But our intention is not to come down here to compete and to try and win a championship to have another notch in the belt. It's purely to develop the abilities that they have so that they can improve and hopefully enable them to win a championship that they need to win in Europe to progress their careers. The tuning procedures that you use with these cars are 100% relative to Formula 3 cars, World Series cars, GP2 cars and the like. So there's relevance there. It's good that they actually come and drive these cars even back from World Series or Formula 3 because it teaches them to be adaptable. And the fact that we run on tyres here that they're unfamiliar with and the whole scene is unfamiliar, the circuit's unfamiliar, is all very good. It's additional training that then gives them added confidence when they go and attack circuits in Europe they've never seen before. It gives them confidence knowing they can learn them quickly and be competitive in a short space of time.
The grid for race 2 is based on the results of race 1, but there's a catch. Race 1 winner Lucas Auer draws a marble to decide how many of the cars will run in reverse order. The answer, 6. So that means Pippo Durrani will go off pole alongside Bruno Bonifacio. Row 2 will see Felix Sorellas and Alex Lynn, while Cassidy and Auer will start on row 3. From there we return to race finish order, so Latifi and Shahorst on row 4, then Tanat and Leach on row 5. E-Tech teammates Mardenborough and Calderon are on row 6, Goddard and Nandi on row 7, Dennis Olsen and Michael Scott on row 9. Rounding out the grid is Andrew Tang. The two Brazilians then on the front row. Bonifacio slightly in front of his box. He could be penalised for that. Away they go then. Sorelas with a superb start from third place, and that was Felix Sorelas right off the line as we go on board, and he's already up to second place and already pushing for the lead on Durrani. Into the loop they go for the first time. And round the outside, what an audacious move that was by Nick Cassidy. And Cassidy going very wide indeed, challenging already for fourth place. Scott on the grass there. Michael Scott of Victory Motorsport, the young New Zealander, in trouble early on. But into the lead goes Pippo Durrani, the rookie from Brazil. Onto the main straight again. Durrani leads them through the gearbox. A quick look at the board and a quick look in his mirrors. But he's got some good pace already and has pulled away. You can still see the sitting puddles in the background. Luckily the track is dry for race 2. Everybody cleanly through that start, and that was pushing hard by Sorelas. Onto the grass, throwing up the dust and dirt behind him. Lucas Au's got a good start and another little bit of dust and dirt as Michael Scott goes off again. Well, that's his second off, and he just touched the grass again, learning his way, of course, coming through the ranks in New Zealand, and this is his first real outing on an international stage. Through goes the number 5, that's Bruno Bonifacio of Brazil, who got overtaken by this man, Sorelas, now in second place as they head down towards the loop again. On board with him, through the gearbox, he'll drop through, brake slightly, drop a gear, and then turn in left. Holding it tight through the loop, try to get all the momentum he can to get through and maybe make a challenge through the S's. Good start from Cassidy. The champion from last year, knows the circuit probably better than anybody else, but he's under pressure from race 1 winner Lucas Au of Austria. Nick Cassidy, of course, still coming to grips with learning a new team. He changed teams this year from Giles to M2 competition, and new engineer, new team to work with, but he's a very versatile youngster. Has pretty much driven everything there is in New Zealand, including V8s more recently, where he won here in New Zealand. So Nick Cassidy continues his fairy tale story in New Zealand, and he's out to try and get back-to-back titles, but he's going to be up against it, against the likes of this man, number 36, Alex Lynn, a big favourite here, Autosport National Driver of the Year in Great Britain, McLaren Autosport British Club Driver of the Year as well, and a BRDC superstar. So definitely one to watch for the future, Alex Lynn, and putting pressure now on Cassidy. And just behind those two is race 1 winner Lucas Au, and Au looking for a way past Lynn as well. So what a battle, with three-way battle we've got here as they come out of the elbow again and onto the main straight. Past their boards again, and another lap completed. But here comes Lucas Au, jinking to the outside. Can he get past? It's going to be tight, and to make it stick around that outside of the loop, very difficult indeed. I saw Cassidy do it, but it's a very hard manoeuvre, and you have to go early. Stijn Shorhorst going wide there as well, but staying on track. The youngster from the Netherlands. When locking up there, Lucas Au makes a mistake, and Nicholas Latifi will pounce if he can, and this is the rookie from Canada, right behind Lucas Au. Big mistake there by Au. He's lost some big ground there, and just as he was challenging to overtake himself, he made a mistake, locking up the wheels. And Shorhorst, as we go on board with him and across the line. First time in New Zealand, raced in the Formula Renault 2-litre series with 2 wins last year in Europe, and really enjoying his experience so far, and it's early days yet. Latifi still behind Lucas Au. Damon Leach still in the hunt. Plenty of good midfield battles here. Latifi's perhaps been the surprise for me so far. Bounced straight out as a rookie, and he's been competitive and very aggressive too. Not afraid to attack the likes of Lucas Au, who've got a lot more experience. Probably weren't expecting him to come from anywhere. Back with the leader, Pippo Durrani. He too, somewhat of a surprise. Raced in Formula 3 though. Got lots of experience, but this is first time in New Zealand. Into the loop again. Very smooth driver. And he's got a comfortable lead, but certainly not one he can relax on with Felix Sorelas behind him from Puerto Rico. Pippo Durrani raced at Macau as well to 6th place. Had a good showing there in his first outing there in November, and that is very much a benchmark for all these up-and-coming drivers. The street circuit of Macau, and then to come here And over 5 weeks, it's a classic test, a real test of their ability and racecraft. And that's why this is such a popular series at the moment, and why so many of these international drivers want to come here in the winter. It's also a throwback to, of course, the 60s and 70s, when all the great drivers used to come and race in the Tasman series at circuits like here at Teretonga. Sorella still can't make any ground up, and he's just got to keep an eye on Stijn Sjehorst as well in third place. There's Damon Leach just behind him in fourth. And Leach having a good battle. This is the best run he's had this weekend. He would so like to go well here and get on the podium at least. Ooh, somebody stuck in the grass there. And that looks like a spin for, well, Dennis Olsen involved in that one, and Andrew Tang. Here we go. Olsen spins off in front of Tang, and Andrew Tang had nowhere to go there, and onto the grass he goes. But really, the fault of that incident, Dennis Olsen. The safety car comes off the track, packs them all together again, and now Pipo Derani from Brazil has got some work to do as the Puerto Rican behind him, Felix Sorellas, will try and inch up closer. He gets right behind his rear wing and gets in the slipstream. Surely jinks to the outside, a chance to overtake. Oh, it's very close indeed. Somehow, Felix Sorellas just pulls out of it just in time, and that was brave driving by Derani, and he just holds on to the lead. Sorellas thought he had him, but Derani may beat the rookie, but I tell you what, he's just said, no, I am not going to be overtaken easily. And that was great driving by a very, very brave Brazilian there to hold on to the lead here at Teretonga in race 2. Meanwhile, Lucas Auer still battling with Nick Cassidy, the champion. Through goes number 5, that's Bonifacio. Bonifacio involved in flipping his car in an incident in testing, but no damage to him anyway. The car easily repaired. And Sorellas looks in his mirrors as he heads towards the loop again. How much of a gap has he got? Can he rebuild on what he tried to do at the restart and try and catch the man in front of him? So far, though, Pipo Derani has set some excellent pace throughout this race. Bonifacio has also been quite with a 55.9. That was a good lap. And Lucas Auer all over Cassidy still. So Lucas Auer looking for a way past Cassidy, but he should know from racing him last year that Cassidy is not easy to pass at all. Last year's champion determined likewise to hold off Auer. Important year this for Nick Cassidy. Wants to head back to Europe with his tail high. Cross the line again, and Sorellas will try and build, but he's still not any closer. Derani doing a really good job out front. Into the loop again. This is the key corner here at Teretonga. And if you can just get plenty of drive out of the exit of that towards the S's, as Lucas Auer has done there, then there's a chance. It all flows from one to another, and often turn 1 is the best opportunity. But there are a few others, but you've got to be brave. And so far, Derani is holding them off and pulling away at the front. Another lap completed. Good race this, and look how close it is between all of them here. On board again with Stijn Sjehorst as he tries to get past number 18 Nicholas Latifi, and this would be round the outside, and if he doesn't quite pull it off again, and in fact it's a brave maneuver to go around the outside, and if you don't pull it off, look how much time you lose, because Latifi now pulls away towards the S's, and that was a great idea from Sjehorst, but doesn't pull it off, and now Damon Leach has caught him up as Latifi does go wide and off into the grass, and that has given Sjehorst a chance to pass, and Leach. So a mistake by the Canadian, and that was a big mistake, and Sjehorst now in a very good position. He's got Leach behind him. 23 is Jan Mardenborough of Great Britain, the man from Wales, getting in on the action too, and they're all queuing up behind Damon Leach now as they come out of the elbow. Fascinating race then. And out front, it's exactly the same, but the midfield battle is on for sure. Nicholas Latifi made one mistake, and now he's paying for it. Trying to get back on level terms. He's trying to get past Jan Mardenborough, the gamer-turned-racer. Would you believe it? He won at PlayStation, and now he's doing the real thing. But the man who's really on his game is the number 6 Brazilian, Luis Felipe Pipo Derani, who comes out of the last corner and will see the checkered flag for an historic rookie victory here in New Zealand. The Brazilian takes the checkered flag in race 2. A superb victory by him under immense pressure from fellow South American. Excellent stuff by Pipo. And a check on the results for race 2. Pipo Derani then ahead of his teammate Felix Sorellis in 2nd place. Alex Lynn with 3rd. Nick Cassidy taking 4th place ahead of Lucas Auer. Stijn Schehorst in 6th place. Bruno Bonifacio was penalised for not being in his box at the start of the race. He drops down to 7th place. Damon Leach 8th. Jan Mardenborough in 9th position. Nicholas Latifi in 10th. Then Calderon, Tanat in 12th for Thailand. Akash Nandi of Malaysia in 13th. Spike Goddard 14th. Dennis Olsen. Then Michael Scott, Ryan Cullen and Andrew Tang in 18th position. Coming up, the first of the TRS feature races. Race 3, 20 laps. It's the Spirit of the Nation Cup. Now, Teretonga is well known for its strong winds, and as TRS driver mentor Sam McNeil explains, there's a trick to reducing the wind effect on the long front straight.
Here at Teretonga, the prevailing wind blows directly across the start-finish straight, so watch for the drivers to hug the inside in preparation for clearing the pit wall.
So here's the grid based on qualifying session 2, which was held in wet conditions. Felix Sorellis will start on pole, alongside him Alex Lynn. And local man Damon Leach will start from 3rd, with Schehorst alongside him on the grid in 4th. On row 3, it's Auer and Bonifacio with their work cut out. And on row 4, Mardenborough and Derani. Row 5 sees Nandi start alongside Tanit. Latifi is on row 6 with Calderon, Goddard and Olsen. They'll start from row 7. Michael Scott will share row 8 with Nick Cassidy, who has a lot of work to do from there. Rounding off the grid, Ryan Cullen and Andrew Tang. On then to the feature race, the Spirit of a Nation start with Felix Sorellis and Alex Lynn. The New Zealander Damon Leach will start 3rd, but all eyes will be on the champion, and there he is, Nick Cassidy, already scything his way through, having had to start from 16th place after a terrible qualifying 2, but Cassidy on his way through, and look at him going into the loop. He's gained several places already. Great start from the champion. Meanwhile, out front, Sorellis and Lynn battling it out, and a good clean start for the feature race. And the conditions have been perfect. We've had 2 different winners from 2 races so far. Lucas Auer won the first race. A brilliant race by the rookie Pipo Derani, as Olsen gets in trouble early on. And that was coming together, it looked like, with Nicholas Latifi. And Olsen just squeezed out there, got onto the rumble strips and had nowhere to go. And Olsen out of this one again, the Norwegian. Still a rookie though, this is his first race weekend in the Toyota Racing Series. So, big learning curve, especially with so much experience back here to race again in the 2013 series. Good start from Sorellis, but under pressure already from Lynn, and Alex Lynn, the man most expected to shine here early on, yet to get that victory, and he's desperate for that for sure. Latifi still in the mix as he tries to go up the inside of the S's. The yellow flag comes out and the safety car is out already, and that is because Olsen has beached it quite literally. And off comes the safety car, they're packed up again. Leach looks to the inside. Now looks to the outside, can't make it through there. Good start again from Sorellis, but Sorellis under massive pressure now, and here comes Alex Lynn. They're side by side, almost touching. Oh, they do touch, and both go off. Oh, that's a big off from Felix Sorellis and Alex Lynn. And debris everywhere. And nowhere to go for Alex Lynn. That was a big, big crash, and the red flag immediately out. Here's what happened. They were side by side, and I think, in fact, I don't think it was just a racing incident. I don't think he turned in on him at all. And I think it could have even been a dust of wind. But either way, look at that. A massive flip from the Brit. And on board with Spike Goddard as debris and a tyre gets under his wing, takes his front wing out. And the Australian with nowhere to go there But look at that. That's great news to see Alex Lynn out of the car. That was a big, big off. Over 100 miles an hour. Flips the car. And the chassis, the Tata chassis, strong as ever, proving that the safety is paramount here in this series. Great job to see that as we go back to racing again, and a good opportunity for staying. Shore Horse now in second place. Sorella somehow surviving that incident, and no damage seemingly done to the car, but Leach already looking at Shahorst for a chance to overtake, and behind him, almost sticking to him like a leech, is the number 11, Lucas Auer of Austria. Wow, what a dramatic start to the feature race here at Teretonga, and Alex Lynn out of proceedings, as is Spike Goddard. On board again with Shahorst, recommended by a Kiwi himself to join this championship, having raced at Manor Motorsport. He was 5th in the Formula Renault European Northern Cup last year, and trying his hand for the first time at the Toyota Racing Series, and off to a good start this weekend. Back with the leader though, number 4, Felix Sorellas, determined to try and win the championship of Puerto Rico. Raced in this series last year, but just took one win. But now he's after multiple wins and consistency, which is the key to the 15 race championship here in New Zealand. And Damon Leach under immense pressure now from Lucas Auer, who won the first race, the Austrian, also a returnee. Leach with bags of experience from Invercargill, and he needs to hold him off now. Just getting a little bit loose there, and that's given Lucas a chance to get even closer to him. Oh, that's a little too close, and Lucas comes alongside. Oh, at the elbow, and elbows the New Zealander out of the way, quite literally at the elbow. So Leach loses out there, but, well, it was a brave move, and there was no contact, so I don't suppose, well, we'll see. I don't think the stewards will have anything to say about that. Lucas put himself up there, got up the inside, and Leach just turned in and there was nowhere to go, so had to take to the grass. There it is. Meanwhile, Pipo Derani still going strong and looking to try and finish his weekend on a massive high. He's already won one race. A good result here. He doesn't need to win it. Will keep him in contention and right up there with the leaders. Could put him in the top 3 as they head to the next round. Shahorst likewise will try to hold off Lucas Auer now, and that's not going to be easy. The rookie under immense pressure already, and this is a good run as we go on board with the Austrian. Look how he uses the road. Nice and flowing through here, and this is the key to being fast here. Keep it flowing fast. Not too many moves inside the cockpit, just nice and smooth, and that just flows through the corners, and that gives you the overall speed. And then this very tight elbow corner, building it up again, through the gearbox, past your pit board, and then maybe, if you're close enough, a chance to overtake into the loop. But that is kind of dicey, as you'll see as we go on board. He looks up the inside, does Lucas Auer, and he's very close to Shahorst here. As we go on board with the second place man, oh, he lost a bit of ground there, and you can see he's under pressure. He looks at his mirrors, and he's making a few mistakes as they head towards the S's, and this is all playing into the hands of Lucas Auer. Meanwhile, Sorellas building his lead at the front. Lucas Auer determined to get past, because if he can get past, he might then be able to try and challenge Sorellas, and that's the man he's after, because it's going to be the championship lead for either one of those two. Shahorst sliding out of the elbow again. Now, is Lucas Auer close enough this time as they cross the line? Watch him build up the speed here. Goes to the outside this time. Try to drop through the gearbox as late as possible and get right behind Shahorst. And you've got to have knowledge for that corner, you really do. And certainly Lucas Auer has done a fair few turns through the loop. He just looks a little quicker in the midsection, through the 4th gear S's and through the 5th gear hairpin, then through the brickyard and then into the elbow. Boderani still under pressure but going strong. Stay where he is, he could finish in the top 3 after the weekend's out. And that would be impressive. Nick Cassidy making up another place. He's scything his way bit by bit through the field. Just past Akash Nandi, the rookie from Malaysia. Watched him race in the JK Racing Asia Series last year. Only 16 years of age, only just turned 16 before the start of the series. So he's the youngest driver out there right now, Akash Nandi. But certainly one to watch on his day. Still learning his way here in the Toyota Racing Series. Here comes Damon Leach now, the local man from Invercargill, putting a lot of pressure on Jan Mardenborough of Great Britain. The rookie getting a lot of oversteer there as he tries to hold off Leach. Leach, of course, still backed by Post Haste and Zero Fees, who stuck with him, and he's repaying them with another good drive here at home. And now Jan Mardenborough, the man who turned gamer to racer. Yeah, that's right, he was a PlayStation master. PlayStation 3 GT Academy, and beat off 160,000 entries to win at computer games, and now he's got his chance of going for the real thing. Well, reality's quite different, especially when you've got a formidable force like Damon Leach all over the back of you. Blustery conditions here as well at Invercargill. This is the real thing. No reset button here for Jan, but he's doing a good job so far of holding off Damon. His first time out in the series and still getting used to slicks and wings, and now he's getting used to pressure, big time. Leach looking for a way through. Meanwhile, Lucas Auer still all over the back of the young Dutchman, following in the footsteps of Hannes van Asseldonk, who came here last year. Good battles between Van Asseldonk and this man Lucas Auer, but now he's got another young Dutchman to deal with. And he's still just not close enough to really have a go at Steyn. The M2 competition man driving very well indeed against Lucas Auer, and you can see how hard Lucas is pushing in the number 11 machine. But this is where Auer is good. He's smooth through here, through the back part of the circuit, through the S's, through the old hairpin and the brickyard. And we saw already that he's able to make a move if he wants at the elbow. He's not afraid to. Here he comes. Down towards this last corner, turn 7. Back down through the gearbox into second gear. And then getting good drive as best you can, because the next opportunity is to get the slipstream down the front straight and then into the loop. And Lucas is certainly one of those drivers not afraid to try it, that's for sure. So far though, good driving from Steyn Sjahorst. Does have a lot of pressure, and really Lucas wants to get by because the difference between third and second is massive here. Sorellis will lead the championship for Giles Motorsport if he wins this race and would take it to 196 points. Lucas Auer though wants to get within a few points of him, and that's why he's desperate for that second place. Sjahorst is in the top 6, but still early days for the rookie. And I think Lucas Auer realises that and wants by quickly. Look at him sliding out of the elbow there. Now he's the closest he's been. Gets in the slipstream, jigs to the outside. This is going to be brave. Lucas Auer comes alongside the Dutchman. And he's got him. Yes, he has. That was superb racing. Can he hold it? Hold the line, hold the line. Yes, tucks it in. And he had to go very wide there, and it would have been dirty offline of the loop there. And that was a stunning overtaking manoeuvre by Lucas Auer. He chose his moment well, got in the slipstream, came alongside, made it stick, had to stay wide, but now look at him fighting the machine as he's in second position, and he really is working it in second place now. But that was great driving from the Austrian Lucas Auer in the closing stages of the feature race, and now it's just Sorellis and him out front for the championship lead. A little further back, Sjahorst now third, Bruno Bonifacio still fourth, Pippo Durrani in 5th place, and Damon Leach is 6th place. He's got past Jan Mardenborough, and we're now looking at the number 6 Pippo Durrani, winner of race 2, and he too would be third in the championship if he stays where he is. This is a good weekend for the rookie, an excellent weekend to be fair. So we've got a new Brazilian star in the making, but it's been a South American run here for sure. Sorellis is going to take a victory. Durrani's already taken one for Brazil, and Lucas Auer has held up the European flag. And Sorellis comes out of the last corner here at Invercargill to the applause and to the checkered flag. A great victory for Felix Sorellis, his second in New Zealand, but his first of 2013. 3 winners from 3 different races, but the Spirit of the Nation Cup goes to this man, Felix Sorellis. And a quick check on the results of the feature race. The Spirit of a Nation Cup goes to Felix Sorellis. His teammate from Giles Motorsport, Lucas Auer, is 2nd place. Steyn Sjahorst of the Netherlands for M2 competition is 3rd. Then Bonifacio Durrani in 5th. Leach takes 6th place at home. Jan Mardenborough is in 7th place. Nick Cassidy in the end went from 16th to 8th. Not a bad result. Akash Nandi is 9th. Latifi 10th. Calderon in 11th. Tanat in 12th. Andrew Tang of Singapore 13th. Cullen 14th. Michael Scott 15th. Olsen, Goddard and Alex Lynn not finishing after that big crash.
Yeah, no, I got a good restart. I was going for the lead. To be honest, at the moment, I can't really remember what happened. I suppose we'll see later on, but at the moment, I can't really comment.
Car go over?
Yeah, I think the car went over a few times. To be honest, I can't remember much of it, but you know, everything's okay.
Testimony to the cars, though, that you step out of it, eh?
Absolutely. I didn't think I was going to be stepping out okay of it, to be honest, but you know, yeah, testament to well-built chassis, even though it's quite old now. It's really, really good.
On to the points and confirming Felix Sorellis on 196. 5 points clear of Auer, then 22 points back is Durrani on 169. Defending champion Nick Cassidy in 4th on 160. So lots to celebrate for Felix Sorellis of Puerto Rico, who starts his TRS campaign in a strong position.
Yeah. Overall, we've had a really good weekend. I think I've scored a lot of points, and I was quite consistent. I'm quite happy. Let's see what happens in round 2.
Round 2, Timaru. It's a tight, tricky little circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very, very small track. It's pretty much a go-kart track, but let's see what happens.
Next up, we move north up the South Island to the city of Timaru and Levels Raceway. 3 more races, including the Timaru Herald Trophy feature race. Round 2 of the 2013 Toyota Racing Series.